Hi guys, have you ever been hypnotized? I feel like I am getting hypnotized right now because I am with a hypnotherapist who specializes in hypnosis and also social psychology. Gosh, you guys,
No, that
see, this
was
is why
good.
social psychology, but her name is Jennifer Fidder. And I think I added an N in there with her, but it's Fiddler with no L, you guys, because I've like butchered her name so many times. But hi everyone, I am Arielle the Connector, and I have experienced firsthand how networking with the right people can transform your business. So I'm here to pay it forward, and my network is your network. Each week, I am bringing you along for fun conversations with community-minded business leaders. Join me to learn from their stories, soak up their wisdom, and leave inspired to take bold, beautiful action. You are not alone on this journey, so let's get you connected. So I find hypnosis so fascinating. I don't know if you've ever had hypnosis before. I have never actually. I've seen it done. I've been amazed by it. I know people who have gotten it done. Anyways, Jennifer, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
I love how like easygoing you are, by the way. You're just
Thank
up for
you.
like anything. And I guess you kind of have to be if you're a
I
hypnotherapist.
was going to say, what could happen?
It was so funny. I just have to tell listeners, like before we started this episode, I was just like, my head was everywhere. And I was like, can you just hypnotize me? Like to just do this episode, like really, really strong. And I think so far it's come out with so many bloopers, which you guys will all get to see. But hypnotherapy is a very fascinating subject right now. And that's kind of what I want to talk about it. And then also like how you've grown your business and all sorts of things. So we're going to dive into everything, you guys, today. Okay, let's start with hypnosis. Like who uses that? When do we use it? Where's the pendulum? Tell me all the things.
What's happening?
Yeah. Are we using a coin? Are we using a talk to me.
There are different forms of hypnosis. Usually when you think about hypnosis, you think about that pendulum or somebody being on stage and like putting people to sleep, right? So that the thing on stage is called stage hypnosis, purely for entertainment purposes, right? It's just fun. So that's
Is it a real thing though? Like,
yeah, it's a real thing.
People really can get hypnotized.
Yeah, of course.
To do these crazy acts.
Yeah.
Have you ever been?
And it's actually pretty easy because those people who come to those shows, they know what to expect. So their mind is already open to the idea, right? And then the hypnotherapist just basically chooses. You will always see when you, and I don't know if I'm spilling trade secrets now for all the stage hypnotists.
I feel like we're in a magic show. And spoiler alert, guys, this is the secrets revealed of a magic show. So if you do not want to know.
So when you pay attention to those shows, you will see that the hypnotist at the beginning always does a few exercises with the whole crowd. And then he kind of handpicks the people who are really good responders, right? Because that's the ones that you want to have on stage because you know exactly, okay, this is going to be good. And that's how they do it. But that's just one form of hypnosis. And then there's hypnosis that is being used in therapy, mostly by psychotherapists. And that oftentimes deals with any kind of trauma response. Sometimes they do regression where they have you go back to the traumatic experience and kind of relive it. And then there's the form of hypnosis that I do, which I like to call transformational hypnosis, because I'm all about getting people to be able to take action, be it in their business, be it in their personal life. I want them to be able to overcome whatever's holding them back so that they can really move forward. And the form of hypnosis that I use is non-trance based. So there's actually no pendulum involved. It's kind of sad, but that's just how it is. So my clients are fully awake during the process. Like they're fully conscious. They hear exactly what's going on. They can talk to me, just a normal conversation like you and I have.
Could you hypnotize me now? Like, since you're not using a pendulum, you're
right,
not,
right.
So technically when you're having conversations with somebody, you could hypnotize them.
It is called conversational hypnosis. So you can kind of lead the mind through the way you talk, and you can slide in some suggestions if you wanted to, yes.
Should we do that with the audience here? No, I'm just kidding. Guys, we're not going to hypnotize you guys today. But It's so fascinating. So what got you into this?
I started out, like you said, I studied social psychology and educational science back in Germany before I moved here. So I was always fascinated with how the mind works and why we as a society do the things we do and the individual minds. And then when I moved here, nobody cared about my master's degree. So that was 6 years of university down the drain. I did have some qualifications in the fitness field though. So I became a personal fitness trainer. And then a few years in, I had the experience that I would give nutrition plans and workout plans to people, and some would kill it and they would just run with it and had amazing results. And others would always fall back into old habits. I was like, there has to be a way how I can help them better. And that's how I kind of stumbled first upon NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, and then hypnosis. And then I was just so fascinated by it because it just works so amazingly well that I was like, I wonder what else I can use it for. And I just started experimenting and I hypnotize everybody around me for anything, really, like nail biting, seasickness, allergies, you name it. And what I ended up with eventually is kind of by accident, because I had a lot of female entrepreneurs find me who said, listen, I deal with procrastination, with perfectionism, with overwhelm, any kind of fears, a lot of fear of rejection, fear of failure. So that's basically what I'm doing now a lot when I do the one-on-one sessions.
So hypnotism is kind of like meditation almost, right?
I sometimes have people ask me, what is the difference? And depending on who you talk to, you will get different answers. For me personally, the difference is that usually meditation is very general. It's you want to relax more, you want to calm your mind. With hypnosis, you can really tackle specific issues. You can say, okay, this is a pattern that I have right now, a way that I'm thinking, a way that I'm behaving, that I want to change. And then you can very specifically work on this one issue. So for me personally, that's the main difference.
Interesting. It's so fascinating. And I'm going to just jump around here because like you just talked about female entrepreneurs or, women business owners. And then I just asked you about that, like the difference, because like where my whole thought process is like, as a female entrepreneur, sometimes you feel vulnerable, right? So it's nice to work with another female. Yeah. And then it's also scary not knowing if you're going to get like hypnotized or if you're going to get like, or some people think they're going in for meditation and they're getting hypnotized. Like there's a level of trust that happens. Yeah. Yeah. And obviously people have to get to know, like, and trust you and see that you are like truly like have their best interest at heart.
But since I'm such a lovable person, that's usually not a problem.
Well, you break the ice. You keep it,
I try.
Yeah, which is important. And it's a scary thing, especially when people hear this. They're like, I'm sure you get the strong, like, I'm in, and the strong, like, freaked out.
And that's why I love working with non-trance-based hypnosis, because it takes a lot of that barrier away, right? Because you really have, especially people who don't know anything about hypnosis, have this idea of, oh, the hypnotist goes into my mind and does whatever in there and I have no control over it, which is really not the case. Because we as hypnotists, if we're doing it trance-based or if we're doing it non-trance-based, our job is really just to facilitate, because you are the one who's making the changes. We're just giving you access to your own subconscious mind, if you will. But given that it's most what I do is non-trance based, it just really takes away a lot of the fear that some people have, because you're fully awake. You know exactly what's going on. You see what I'm saying. You hear everything. So if there's ever anything where you don't feel comfortable, you can just speak up. And that makes it a lot easier for a lot of people.
So is somebody repeating after you? So I just have so many questions about this. I'm just like curious, because it's like, I've always been interested. I've always been fearful of, obviously, control. And like, so then like what would be difference if it's not trans based, which is like transcendental, right? Isn't it transcendental?
So non-trance based simply just means that you're fully conscious.
Okay.
Like when you're in trance, you're in like this. Okay, so there's different brainwave states, right? And the deeper we go, the more able you are to receive suggestions, or the easier it is for you to receive suggestions. So usually the trance-based hypnosis sometimes goes a little bit deeper than the non-trance-based hypnosis, just when we're looking at the brainwaves. And when you do non-trance, or when I do non-trance-based hypnosis, meaning you're fully awake. It's really a conversation like we're having now.
Almost like business coaching.
Yeah, almost like that, yes.
Okay. But you're giving me suggestions in this conversation where I'm like...
So you have to kind of, it's a little bit abstract when you talk about it and you're not actually seeing it. The way I like to work is with, we call it idiomotor responses. Basically meaning I ask the subconscious mind to give me a yes and a no, preferably simply by lifting one of your fingers up. Okay. And you might have seen it with they call it the human pendulum, when you're just standing up straight and you close your eyes and then you say, hey, give me a yes, and then your body leans forward or backwards. And so that's an idiomotor response. So I like to get the same response with the fingers, because that way I can really establish direct communication with the subconscious mind without needing you as an interpreter. There's other ways how you can do it. I can like hold my hand like this and say, there's a ball here. What color does it have? Right? And then you see a ball, but that way I would always have you to translate it because I can't see the ball. So if I can get you to move your fingers, or your subconscious mind to move your fingers, then I can directly communicate with it, and you can do, I don't know, you can look around the room, you can do whatever you want to do. You don't need to be involved necessarily.
Gosh, this is so fascinating. Like I want to do this like now.
Well, we can do a few exercises to see if you would be a good...
Oh, that'd be so cool. Yeah, let's do this.
So, and if you guys want to do it with us, you can do that if you're in a safe space, okay? We're going to do 3 things right now. And what I want you to know is when we're doing this, there is no right or wrong. Because what we're trying to do with these exercises is we're finding out how your subconscious mind works, because everybody's subconscious mind works differently, okay? And I like to do these kind of exercises in consultation calls, because that gives me an idea of how your subconscious mind prefers to communicate, what the language is, if you will. And then if you would be a good suspect, quote unquote, for the type of hypnosis that I prefer. If we determine no, then we can still do other kind of coaching, no problem. But that's just my preferred way of work. Okay.
I love that.
You're ready?
I love that you're up for this too.
Why not?
And the whole audience, I think this is going to be great.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the audience, only do it when you're in a safe space. If you're on I-95 right now or somewhere on the interstate, do not do it. Okay, please. Safety first.
Listen to when you're in bed or something.
Exactly.
Like on a couch.
Okay, place both of your feet flat on the floor. Okay. Your hands on your thighs. Okay, lean back.
Okay.
Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. Let's do that again. Take a deep breath in. And exhale. That's right. And now I want you to imagine that you're standing in an empty room. There's nothing in that room but yourself and a chair. And that chair is one of the most comfortable chairs that you could ever imagine. And when you have an idea of how that chair looks like, I want you to nod your head for me that I know you got it. And again, there's no right or wrong. You're doing good. You got the chair? Okay, perfect. And now I want you to imagine that you're walking over to the most comfortable chair in the world, and that you're sitting down, and you can wiggle your butt a little bit left and right and get really comfy. And when you have an idea of how that chair feels like, then let me know. Perfect. And as you're sitting there in the most comfortable chair in the world, all of a sudden, you hear some music. Maybe it's one of your favorite songs. And when you can hear it, let me know. Good. As you're sitting there in the most comfortable chair in the world, listening to one of your favorite songs, all of a sudden, you smell some flowers. It can be your favorite flower if you have one, or maybe just some roses. When you can smell it, let me know. And now I want you to think of the last thing that you ate. If you had lunch today, maybe it was lunch, it was just breakfast. And when you can taste it on your tongue, let me know. Good. Now open your eyes. Shake it out. Good.
Okay.
So everybody out there, shake it out. Did you see the chair?
Yes.
Did you feel the chair?
Yes.
Did you hear the music?
I did.
What song was it?
It was actually just like a classical music.
Okay.
Which is so funny because it's not really.
Not your style?
No. Like, oh my
That's
classical. Okay. I'm here
okay,
for
we're
it.
going with it.
Yeah.
Did you smell the flowers?
Yeah.
And did you taste the food?
I did.
Out of those 5, which one was the easiest to imagine? Which one was right there?
Food.
The food? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you just have lunch?
I did have lunch.
Okay.
So
Okay.
That was easy to.
What was the second easiest?
The roses.
The roses. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So, what does that tell us? Your brain or your mind prefers smells. So I don't know if you're somebody who likes a lot of perfume, or like when you're walking through a garden, you're always like, this smells amazing, right? So that is the preferred language of your subconscious mind. When we work with the subconscious mind, we always want to incorporate all the senses, because our subconscious mind works with emotion and with imagination, right? That's what it runs on, if you will. So the more of our senses we can involve, the easier it is to get access. But this tells you what your preferred language of the subconscious mind is. So when you guys did this out there and you say, okay, the chair, I saw it right there, then you're a very visual person. Meaning if let's say you are a very visual person, you just found that out, then you might want to work with actual visualizations, or you might want to create a vision board, right? Or if you're somebody who responds to smells, so every time you meditate or every time you say your affirmations or you journal or whatever it is that you want to do, put like a scented candle or an incense or something, right? Just to get you more into this state of mind.
Oh, I love that.
And we can do a few more exercises, but by the way, if we go back and we zoom in on her face while I was doing this exercise, you could see how her eyelids were fluttering a little bit. So that already tells me that you're a very good hypnotic suspect, because you were already there.
Really?
Yes.
And I think I'm like the worst.
No.
Because I feel like my mind's constantly wandering.
No.
I think about so many other
No.
things. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do more.
Okay, let's do more.
Fun.
Okay.
I think this is going to be really fun for the audience too.
So next one we're going to do.
Okay, hands on the lap.
And again, there's no right or wrong, okay? Some things work very well, just like, sometimes maybe when we just did the chair exercise, maybe some of you didn't hear the music at all. Totally cool. That's why we're doing this. We're trying to find out how your subconscious mind works. Okay, so no pressure at all, no right or wrong. We're just doing things.
I think I would have to say smell and then visual, to tell you the truth. Like,
yeah.
I think that was more.
Yeah.
I could see the chair pretty clearly. It wasn't like my most comfortable chair, but it was a chair that I wanted to sit in, apparently. Like, I was like, I saw this chair. Like, I could tell you what it looked like the whole thing.
Yeah, and that's perfect.
It's bougie.
Right?
Okay.
That's okay. I had one.
A bougie chair, not really soft. It was bougie.
I had one client the other day. She was like, ooh, it was like, I don't know what it was, blue velvet or something. And she's like, now I have to go out and find a chair like that.
Wait, she was into her chair.
Go for it. Okay, let's do something else, okay? I'm going to show you first, because you're going to have your eyes closed again when we're doing this, okay? So in a little bit, I'm going to ask you to hold out your hands like this, and you guys too. And then I'm going to place a magnet in your right palm and a magnet in your left palm. And when I click my fingers, those magnets will be activated, and they start pulling your hands together. I don't want you to help it, but I don't want you to resist it either. Just let happen whatever happens, okay? You ready?
This is
Everybody
funny,
ready?
Guys. Okay.
Okay. So let's start.
I'm going to move the mic.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start by rubbing those hands together a little bit.
Oh, do I have to close my eyes or keep them open for this?
For now, you can keep it open. I'll tell you when to close it.
Okay.
You feel it getting nice and warm and toasty?
Yes. I have some heat happening.
Okay, perfect. Now hold your hands out. Close your eyes. Extend your arms if you can. Okay, perfect.
Okay, I have to move the mic for a second. Okay, good.
So extend your arms. And now I'm going to place a magnet in your right palm. and in your left palm. And when I click my fingers, those magnets will be activated. And now they start pulling your hands closer and closer together. And you can feel that magnetic field between your hands. And you can feel it tingling a little bit. That's right. And it's just pulling your hands closer and closer together. And the closer they come together, the faster they're moving, because you can feel how that magnetic field is just getting stronger and stronger. And now it's really pulling your hands faster and faster together. That's right. And you can just allow that to happen. And once your fingers touch, you can just open your eyes and everything will be back to normal. That's right. Good. See? Good job. And the question is, did you move those hands or did they move by themselves?
They moved by themselves. Oh, wait. How are you going to move the I had to move the bike back. That was crazy.
Yeah. What did you feel?
Tingling.
Okay.
I definitely felt magnetic sensation, but it also it's interesting because my hands ended up not, does that happen to people? They did
sometimes,
not clap. Totally.
Yeah.
They were vertical, or whatever I think my pointer was touching my left pinky. Right. My right pointer was touching.
That's fine.
Yeah. That's interesting because that's how it felt like it was in alignment.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't. But okay.
So what does that tell us? Yeah. It shows you that your mind can really create a reality in the outside world. Because I tell you all a secret. There was no magnet. Right? Yeah. That's the power of our mind. And when you think about it, it's kind of scary because you are hypnotizing yourself every single day. Every time you tell yourself, I can't do it. Every time you tell yourself, I'm not good enough. I suck at this. You are hypnotizing yourself and you're creating this reality in the outside world.
It's so good. It's so true.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I mean, our thoughts are reality.
100%.
And it's, somebody said to me, she's like, all truths are true. Right? Yeah. Isn't that fun? And I was like, what do you mean all truths are true? Yeah. No.
No. Yes, they are.
But it is, right? Exactly what you just said.
Yeah. And everything is energy. You create with your thoughts certain energies and without getting too woo-woo, you guys, I like science and everything behind it, but you create energy with your thoughts. And people can feel that energy that you're projecting, and they will react to that energy.
Well, and I guess animals are so like that, right?
Yeah.
Because that's all animals can feel.
Yeah, exactly.
Have that conversation.
Yeah. And we're just like that. We love to pretend we're a little bit more sophisticated, but we're really not. Sorry. We're not.
We're animals.
Yeah, we're animals.
Mammals
pretty
or
much.
Whatever we are.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's fascinating. Those are fun exercises.
Yeah.
So based upon those two exercises, you would be able to tell if this person would be an easy client or they would have to do some therapy to get to be a good client, or
it's not so much about being an easy client, but if the way I interpret it, and again, you ask different people, you get different answers. The way I interpret it is your subconscious mind is able to easily communicate to the outside world. So I would do a few more exercises. I would actually do that with the fingers, right? And see if I can get a response. And then I know, okay, we're going to have an easy conversation. Because for me, it's always the easiest when I can really see those fingers move, because then I can ask direct yes and no questions and I can get direct answers. And that just makes the whole process a lot easier.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah. I mean, when your clients are open.
Yeah.
It makes everything easier.
Sure.
So fascinating. And so then with the fingers, you'd ask questions, or you'd do the whole another session, and then you would ask questions, and then the person would raise their fingers, or their fingers would raise.
So usually those little exercises I do during the consultation call, right? And then when we determine, okay, this is a great method for you, you want to do it, then we schedule the actual first session. So I usually do a 3-session protocol. The first session is the longest because that's when the actual change work happens. And it starts with a conversation like this. We're talking about, okay, what is it that you're dealing with? Where are you right now? Where do you want to be? Because we want to have a path. How do we measure success? Because when you come back for session 2, I want to be able to say, okay, where we're at, what's happening, right? So we need to have a way to actually measure it. And we're talking about the barriers. Why haven't you changed yet? Right? There has to be something that is holding you back. So we have to find that and have to address that with the subconscious mind. And that is usually when then the work with the fingers comes in. That did not come out right. Well,
okay.
That's all right.
Anything goes on my podcast at this point. Oh my gosh, this is so fascinating. Thank you so much for really I think taking the scaries out of this conversation, because I think there's a lot of scaries around this, like I said in the beginning. And I actually feel so much more relaxed. I hope you guys all do too, because I am just, I can't get over how I just feel relaxed from those 2 sessions that you just did with me. And
for me personally, it's not only about taking the fear out of it, it's also taking the woo-woo out of it a little bit. Because when we're talking about hypnosis, we're still very much in this spiritual out there, which is fine. Nothing against spirituality. But over the past, I want to say 5 to 10 years, there is so much research that has been done when it comes to hypnosis that we really now oftentimes can explain why do things happen, right? And how do they happen? And we're finding out so much more about how our mind works when you look at neuroscience, all the new research that has been done in the past 10 years. Right? We always thought, okay, the adult brain can't change. Now we know, it changes all the time. Might be a little bit slower, but we can still change. So my mission is a little bit really getting the woo-woo out of hypnosis and say, hey, this is a valid tool for transformation.
It's interesting. I guess you wouldn't need that many sessions, or how long. So people don't really work with you for a very long time.
No. The way I do it is, and some of my colleagues hate me for it because they love to sell month-long packages, which I sometimes do. But if it's a very specific problem, if you have, and I always, and if you guys have listened to other podcasts that I'm a guest on, I always use the same example because it's just so visual. You have a fear of spiders. You don't want to have a fear of spiders. You're welcome. Right? Very simple, very easy. If you come to me and you say, I want to be happier, then we first have to find out what is happiness. How do we define happiness? What plays into happiness, right? So that makes it more complicated. So I always tell people, when you come to me, the easiest way to achieve change is have a very specific thing that you want to work on. And then it's really a 3-session protocol in most cases. I want to say in 90% of the cases. And then it's okay. The only time that I really do longer packages over a month is when I have somebody coming to me, usually new entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs who are kind of in the transition phase from a 9-to-5 to entrepreneurship or to having a business, a franchise, whatever. Because then it's usually not one thing, but it's you have to develop a whole new personality. The person who works a 9-to-5 is not the same person who runs a business. So you have to develop new habits. You have to develop new values in some cases. Priorities have to change. So that's a whole different ballgame. And then we're not only talking about a mindset shift, but everything else that has to shift. So that's when I like to do longer sessions, and where we have then accountability sessions in between to really kind of keep you on track. But then it goes more into kind of the business coaching direction than actual hypnosis coaching.
I love how you have a range of things, and it's really catered to each person on what's going on with them. And I guess it depends obviously how quickly you can work through things, right?
Yeah, sure.
I'm when I do therapy or do anything, I'm let's go all in, go fast. Let's go hard, right? Go in, go hard, go fast, all the things.
Yeah.
Because I'm just I want to get to the root cause. I don't want to spend time dilly-dallying on all these things, all the other stuff.
Yeah. And it sometimes also depends on how much work people have already done on this specific issue. And the good thing for me as a hypnotherapist is when people come to me, they have usually already put a lot of work into this, because the first person you think of to solve your problem is usually not a hypnotist, right? You're not I'm dealing with X, Y, Z, let me go and see a hypnotist. You're doing some courses, you're reading books, you're doing self-help things and nothing works and you've been dealing with this for 10 years. And then finally your friend said, have you ever thought about hypnosis? And you're like, you know what? Why not? And that's the people that I get then, right? So there's already a lot of work that has been done. So there's usually already a lot of awareness there. If you have to dig up this awareness, then it can take maybe an additional session or something like this, right? Simply because you have to start at the beginning, you have to start from scratch, but it's still nothing that like justifies like a 6-month process, I would say. And that's what the beauty is about hypnosis, because once your subconscious mind understands, or we kind of have to go back a step, because everything your subconscious mind does, it does for 2 reasons. It wants to protect you, or it wants to make things easier for you. And when you can get the subconscious mind to understand, hey, what you're doing is not serving me anymore. It doesn't have the protection mechanism that you think it has. Then it will just let go of it, because then there's no point in it anymore. And that's why hypnosis works so fast, because as soon as you have this reframe, as soon as you have this shift, you can just drop those habits.
That's amazing. I mean, we know the brain is incredible, but like, it's been really fun doing this with you. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much for being here. I am like loving this episode. And okay, guys, I want to say, like, if you have enjoyed those 2 like little transitional things and you want more of Jessica called you.
That's okay.
Why? Jennifer.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, I do.
Maybe I look more like a Jessica.
Actually, I was like literally texting with a Jessica before we started this episode.
She was. I was here
and
for it.
she also looks like you. You guys could be sisters, which is really scary.
That is scary.
And so it's just so funny that like, yeah, I just happened to be talking to Jennifer and Jessica. Jennifer. Okay, so before people like go and everything, where can they find more of you? Where can they learn more and discover like if they can do some more sessions with you?
The easiest way is usually to go directly to my website. It's jenniferfidder.com. Just
easy.
One word.
Perfect. We'll put it in the show notes, you guys.
And from there you can find my socials, you can find a contact form. So
and then you can do the whole process, and now everybody knows it's like it's easy. And one thing is, before we wrap up totally, is the thing that I wanted to have you on the episode and the podcast and everything is a couple of reasons. I love hypnotherapy. Yeah. And all this, the conversation behind it, and psychology, and this is like one of my favorite conversations. But also the fact that you moved here from Germany,
I did,
not knowing anybody, not knowing any sort of anything in here, and you've built a community around you, which I just think is amazing, and I think is so just bold and brave. But also, maybe you hypnotize yourself to do this.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh, you guys. To get more with Jennifer and to find out more, connect with her on Instagram, go to her website, do all the things. I have just enjoyed having you so much today.
Thank you. I had a great time too.
So good. Such good, juicy information. Thank you guys for being here. If you want to be hypnotized more, stay tuned for a whole new episode, and maybe we'll hypnotize everybody on the way out. No, I'm just kidding. Or we did during this whole episode. If you want to like, subscribe, write a review on the podcast, it really helps. Or share this episode with somebody else who would like to know more about hypnotism. Hypnotism? Yeah, that's a word,
that's
right?
Fine. That's a word. It's a thing.
I was like, as I'm saying, it sounds like it shouldn't be, but okay. But definitely send it to a friend and share the information and take away the scaries. It's not scary at all. It's actually really, I feel like so relaxed. So relaxed. I feel like I finally could take a nap for the first time in a while. I've been like round up for a while.
Well, it's almost time, so.
All right. I'll see you guys all next week for a whole new episode.
Bye.